What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys, in thinking more about the proposal from Matt about implementing some kind of wild season pass for wild format, I'm actually getting really excited about that. Now, I'm not saying that it's the perfect solution. In fact, I was looking at some of the commentary that Matt was discussing in the town hall chat earlier today about maybe doing that combined with the low card penalty, right? So if level 1 bots are still playing, sure, they can pay the pass, but then all of a sudden they're still like high up. And if they have a lot of SPS stake, well, then they're earning a lot still and draining from the pool. But my main focus for this, right? So if they can put that in, I think it should be implemented like ASAP. I would love to have it implemented before the next season because I think it could really start to do some numbers. And what I mean by that is, right now there's not too many people playing the game, obviously, right? We've seen bots come down significantly, and a lot of folks have obviously left the game. But here's where the numbers are at, and this is why I don't want to get too excited about it, even though I'm excited about the voucher aspect. But Matt was giving numbers of like 15,000. 20% of the accounts that currently play, which he said 75,000 in Wild. If 20% of those were to do something or to continue playing, that would be about 15,000 accounts. That would be burning pretty much the amount of vouchers we mint every single day for the entire season. And so all of a sudden vouchers would become neutral in a sense, as long as we had that. But again, just to keep a little bit of objectivity here and to rein everything back in, you can see, especially as of late, right? I look at these spikes as probably just consolidation because, again, active players doesn't mean that the account was playing a battle, or at least we don't know. It just means that maybe somebody was logged into the account. But for the most part, we've been down in the maybe low 20s to mid-teen range, right? Or mid-teen to low 20 range. Some days it's higher, some days it's lower. Now, granted, Matt's number of 75,000 was any account that played 50 battles over the course of an entire season, right? So obviously we're not having 75,000 players in Wild playing battles every day, which if you're running bots, wouldn't that make the most sense? So either way, that number might be a little inflated. Again, it doesn't take away from the fact that it would still be very effective. And what I mean by that is if you're looking at this now, there's not that many bot farms left. If you consider the fact that if you're running a bot farm and trying to be profitable, you'd want to be playing every day pretty much, or every other day, using up all your energy. And even still with all that, we're in the, I'll say like 15,000 to 30,000 range over the past couple of, so this is like an average of 31,000 players over the past month, but you have these outliers here of 90,000 or 100,000, 90,000. If we look at, I don't know, let's just say like the last 7 days, that way we don't have that huge spike. I mean, sure, we have 20,000 players. A good amount, maybe like 500 to 1,000 of them are playing in Modern, but you have some folks that are playing in WoW. So maybe we could say there's like 19,000, right? Or actually maybe close to like 15,000 that'd be playing in Wild. So that actually brings us, if they were to all continue playing, right? Let's say all of those accounts continue playing, which would be not a net benefit for Modern, the way that it was framed, nor would it be a net benefit for Wild, because you'd still have the same accounts jumping in. And so therefore, there'd probably be crazy ratings inflation still. All the bots decided that they wanted to pay it. Again, I don't know what the economy behind the bots is. I'm just saying, like, let's say they all continue to pay it. Well, then that's where we get to the exciting part here. And like I said, that would burn a significant amount of vouchers. Now, you can see here, we have 11.8 million vouchers. So there's still a lot, right? There's still a lot out there. And granted, some folks were burning, especially for extra energy early on, when, especially the people who are higher up in Modern. I think it's probably more profitable for them to just use their glint and get those reward chests, especially if they already have the cars that they need. So I think we're going to see energy purchases, meaning, vouchers and DEC burn for energy, come down significantly because of that. And you can even see that the team reduced the energy in the packs, or not the packs, but the chests, probably because it was too high to begin with. But now we're starting to see voucher supply creep up, right? This was like 11.3, 11.4 million. But all of that could be solved, right? As long as vouchers remain below 5 cents, because that's the trading rate, or at least what they're valued at for the season pass. If vouchers remain below 5 cents, I mean, if each of these accounts, right, these 19,000 accounts, we'll call them, stay active in Wild, I mean, then we're burning more vouchers than get printed every single day. That to me is wild, pun intended, right? And if they decide to go down, right? I was saying before that let's say there was no net benefit. If they decide to shut off, right, we'll probably get a much better idea of how many serious players and players that hold significant assets in the game are. And all of a sudden, Wild will start paying quite well. And who knows, Wild might actually even start paying a little bit more than Modern in some cases, just because people will look at that and say, well, if all the bots turn off, then all of a sudden there's less people dipping into the pie. Plus, on top of that, there's a gate of, the 2000 DEC, so people don't want to enter in. But they might find that it's worth it if all of a sudden they can dominate and get into higher levels in Wild. So I think that this should be implemented like ASAP, sooner rather than later. I don't know if Matt's going to go through the whole process of the what's that called? The proposal, right? So that'll last for 2 weeks. Again, the timeline that I had in my mind, which I discussed in the last video, was like mid-June, right? Whatever the second season of June ends up being, I think is a reasonable time frame to expect, because we still have like a week left in May and then another week in June for people to give feedback and to vote on it. But I think we've already seen overwhelming support for it. At least I've seen a lot of the whales saying that they are a fan of it. And at the end of the day, if you're not, you can stick in Modern. And I don't know what else to say about it. I already said why I'm a big fan. But again, even if there's no net benefit to Modern or Wild because all of the bots decide to stay online, the net benefit is going to be to the ecosystem, because all of a sudden vouchers are going to go, vouchers are going to be burned at whatever rate, the amount is, and anything over 15,000, all of a sudden we're net negative on vouchers. And if vouchers hit that 5-cent range, well, then all of a sudden it's not economically viable for people to spend vouchers. They're going to switch back over to DEC, at which point, 15,000 players playing in Wild over the course of a season burns 30 million DEC per season, or 60 million in the course of a month, which is triple the rate that we're burning right now. We're just with market fees and whatever's going on, we're burning about 1 million DEC per day. And I know we're still minting a lot. I don't know if SPS is getting burned for that or not, but like you can even see here, well, I guess we've minted a lot for, this wasn't even minting. This was just the DEC grain LP. But there's a lot of DEC burning happening, and in my opinion, this would supercharge a lot of that. So it would get vouchers to a good spot, right? It would help vouchers to hold maybe a soft peg of about 5 cents or higher, and then DEC would then start to be burned in that scenario, right? So to me, it's a very win-win situation. I think that it's something that should be implemented sooner rather than later. And if you think about the time frame for this, right? Let's say vouchers immediately get used up in month 1, right? And all of a sudden vouchers are at 5 cents. It's more economically viable to use DEC, or maybe people will just continue to use vouchers. Who knows? But if we were to burn, 60 million DEC per month, I was estimating that we probably have an overhang of 300 to 400. So that additional 60 million per month would mean, by close to the end of the year, like mid Q4, November, we could start to see DEC back to peg, mainly because we've burned through all of the supply. And that's assuming we live in a vacuum, right? That's assuming that the team is not putting out anything else or not getting new players or whatever the case is. This is just saying we get through the overhang, and now just the regular market fees, just the regular, season pass fees, whatever that is, all of a sudden become much more impactful, right? Getting DEC back up to peg, and then we start burning SPS and hit that flywheel in Q4 of 2024, the year of the halving, right before hopefully things absolutely take off. So that's my bullish take for the day. Again, I'm not saying any of this stuff is guaranteed. None of this is financial advice, but in looking at the timeframes and looking at the economic impact, to me, it's a no-brainer. It should be implemented sooner rather than later to help both tokens, vouchers and DEC, which are, by design kind of indirectly related to SPS, right? As both of those tokens go up, or in DEC's case, go to or above peg, that, they have an added benefit for SPS, right? SPS will get a higher APR and if vouchers go up, and of course, more SPS gets burnt if DEC is at peg and people start burning SPS for that. So that is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.